Good morning, Modern Steaders.
Good morning.
It's a nice chilly morning this morning. The chickens are all out. They've been following us around ever since we got out the door. We need to get up to the off-grid property today and install our septic tank. I can't wait, guys. I've been looking forward to getting the septic tank installed ever since we started the leach field. And now that the leach field is done, the indoor plumbing. Good morning, Moose. The indoor plumbing or drain plumbing is installed in the tiny house. We can work on the septic tank, and it's gonna feel good to have that installed. But first, we need to take care of all these crazy animals.
You don't like that noise?
So yesterday we started laying out where our septic tank's going to go, and we ran out of spray paint. So today we need to mark it off, get it all figured out exactly where we want our hole dug, how big we want it, and where our line's gonna go, so we can start digging and get this septic tank in the ground. Nice.
Nice boots.
Pretty in pink. And my finger. I probably should have waited to roll up my line. Now I got nice pretty pink hands. Nice and fluorescent. Alright, we need to get the transit set up. Then we can start digging. Can't believe it's already time to get the septic tank in the ground. So I want to figure out the height we're at now and set the grade or the depth we're going to need for the tank on the grade stick, so that way I know once we're at a certain level we're good. So I want to set the top of my tank to this height. All down there we need to be the same depth, so that way we can set our tank nice and level. So I'm going to dig it about 2 to 3 inches or 2 to 4 inches deeper than the tank, and then we're going to line the bottom of it with sand. I need to find our height for now. Are 2 feet 10 inches. 34 plus 53 equals 87. So let's go 90. 90 divided by 12 equals 7.5 feet. So we need to set this at 7.5 feet. 7.6. And in the end, that's how deep our hole's gonna be, minus 34 inches. On this end, and then down there it's gonna taper, so the hole's not gonna be anywhere near as deep. I noticed the other day I have a hydraulic line starting to leak. We have a leak right here where the hose is crimped onto the fitting. So I ordered one of those yesterday, and that should be here in a few days. So I'm hoping it doesn't blow. If it does blow, we'll have to take it off and go get one made at the parts store. But I'd rather have one ordered in here instead of having to take it off and then go run out to town and then come back. It'd be a lot easier to already have it here. So hopefully we can get this job done without that hose blowing. Pink line right on the edge of where I need it. So that way I can put my last bucket finger on it and dig it out, and that's the exact width we're gonna need. I have found painting it out with the pink line, or making a line with paint, works really good for digging instead of just eyeballing it or having stakes set out. Don't think we're deep enough, but I want to get out and check it with the grade stake and see how deep we are and how much farther we need to go. All right, let's check and see how we did with the grade. I need to kick the highs and the lows and make everything nice and level. I'll do that with a rake, and then we'll bring sand in here and get it all flattened off perfectly with some sand. The reason we're putting sand down is we have a lot of clay soil, and we are using a Roth multi-purpose septic tank. You can use it for septic tank or for drinking water if you want. And it being a plastic tank, they recommend putting sand down or gravel or something if you have clay soil, and we have clay soil, so we're going to do it with sand on the bottom, and then on the sides we're going to pack it with sand on the sides, about 6 inches on each side, and then after we get up around it, we can put our clay soil back on it. And the biggest reason they want you to do that is because clay holds water and it doesn't let the moisture or water go away, so they want to have drainage around the tank. One of these days I'll be good enough so I'll be able to level this off nice and smooth with the bucket of the excavator. I'm not quite there yet. Up. Up. I'd rather be low. That means we got to add a little bit more sand in. So now that we have this dug and we know roughly where we want it, I got to check the grade from here down to the inlet of the D box and see where that's going to put us. I need the ladder over here. So if we add 2 inches in, that'd raise that up, and it would be 2 inches would raise it up, so it'd be 71 inches. So this would be the center of the outlet pipe. I'm curious to see where it is down there, and let's get elevation on this thing. So from where the tank would sit, as of right now, that pink mark is the center of the outlet line. Down to the D-box center line, we have 116 inches of difference between the two of drop. So we just measured it, we're 105 feet from this outlet to that inlet, and I need to figure out what we have for a fall per foot from going this outlet to that inlet, and we have 105 feet times 0.25 would be 26. Double checking the elevation here. We also need to make sure that this tank is set for the right height for the house when we build our house later on at some point, whenever that is. We just want to make sure the septic is set so it'll work with the house, because we're going to have a walkout foundation and we want an in the ground toilet and shower in the house that doesn't need a pumping system. So we got to go over to the house location and just get a rough grade idea and make sure it's going to work. Right here would roughly be the height of the basement floor. This would be where the pipe would come out. So can you bring that over here? We'll see how much, just rough feet wise. I know the footage isn't going to be exact, but. So you have, say, 93 feet. Now let's go back there. We want to make sure we have at least a 2-foot rise here. We're 4 feet 4 inches for an elevation, and back there we were under a foot, so we have over 3 feet of elevation, so we have more than enough fall that we're going to need from our house to down here, which is perfect. We set that lower. This would be lower, and it would give us a lot more fall than what we need. Well, we saved you guys from watching us, but we just dug this hole 13 inches deeper. We decided, or we spent a lot of time off camera figuring all of our angles, our drops and everything, and we decided we wanted to drop the tank another 13 inches because it would save us backfill on our outlet pipe down to our D-box. If we would have kept it the height we had it, we would have had to bring in a lot more material to bury the pipe because the whole pipe would have been above ground, and we didn't feel like having to haul in more material. And we didn't want to have a big old ugly speed bump in our lawn. So down by the leach field, it's going to be above ground, and we'll have to taper all that and do all that fun stuff. But for about half of the distance, most of it's going to be buried underground, which is going to be nice. So unfortunately, this is as far as we got today. Let's come back in the morning. We'll get some sand in here and get the tank set. I could put some sand in here right now, but I don't want to because I want to see if this hole fills up with any water overnight, and if it does, I'll have to figure out something. Do I want to put a French drain in, or what do I want to do? So we're not going to put the sand in, so if we put the sand in and that gets water on it, we'll have to dig that out, and that would just be a waste. So we'll leave the hole like this. We'll come back in the morning and we'll get to working on it again.
Gonna make some stuffed peppers tonight, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a different filling. I have a sauce I like to use for like a stir fry, and I'm gonna use that for the mixture. The only thing I remembered is I don't have any rooster. I do not have any canned mushrooms. I like to keep canned mushrooms in my pantry, and I already had this planned out, and I don't have any. They don't have any fresh ones, so that's the only thing that's gonna be missing. I'm gonna go ahead and pop them in the oven without filling them first while I'm getting the filling done, and then I will fill them after. I'll take them back out and fill them. So that way they're starting to get cooked. I'm sauteing up some onions. My peppers are in the oven at 350. I'm just gonna do my mixture, and I'll pull them back out, and then I'll stuff them with that. I have a half a cup of chicken broth, and then a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Don't waste that. And then a 1/4 cup of avocado oil. Whoops. I've also used sesame oil. That works as well too. Then a couple cloves of garlic. Fresh from that we grew. Super exciting, because that is a long process. It doesn't take a lot, but you have to wait and wait. So we got a lot of garlic, and we have that drying. So we got 2 cloves of that. Then I add a teaspoon and a half of arrowroot. So 1.5 teaspoons. Well, that didn't work too well, did it? Doesn't seem like it likes to click in all the way. So I have pre-cooked some brown rice. Then I'm going to go ahead and dump my sauce in here and then see if I need to add more rice. The peppers are they've gotten softer, so they won't have to be in there as long as if I hadn't done that. Making some nice noises.
It didn't take more than a second for you to turn the whole world upside down. Turn this big.
That's a little bit of a bummer. I only have enough filling for 5 and I have this small little pepper here. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the oven and check them in about 15 to 20 minutes. Since the peppers are already partially cooked, they should be ready. If not, I'll put them in for a little bit longer.
Getting that septic hole dug took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I had in my head planned that we were going to get the tank installed and buried, but this is the first time we've ever done a septic system, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but I feel like it's a little bit harder because we want trying to get bathrooms and concrete floors. So we have the tiny house, we want the bathroom in the top and the floor, but we don't want to have any pumps going. And then also when we build our house, we want to have a bathroom in the house in the basement that can drain from the basement floor without having to pump anything. So we want everything to be gravity fed to our septic tank, and then from our septic tank to our leach field, we wanted all that to be gravity fed. We didn't have to want to have any pumps involved because we're going to be an off-grid homestead. So the less electricity we're depending on, the better, I feel like. And I just feel like a pump for your toilet or a pump for your septic system is just one more thing you have to maintain. So we're doing a lot of head scratching and figuring everything out so we can get gravity to work in our favor. And man, it's been a lot to it. And I don't want to take you guys along, and it's kind of hard to show all that. I think kind of boring when we're trying to figure out this and that. So it just took a lot longer than I thought today, but we should be perfect. So tomorrow we can get the tank installed. The other good thing about having the hole dug and letting it sit overnight is we can find out if there's any water that's going to be coming into that hole, because if there is water in that hole tomorrow morning, we have to figure out what we're going to do, if we're going to weight the tank down somehow, or if I'll put like a French drain in that hole, because we are on a hillside. I could put a French drain in and drain off any water if we have any water coming into that hole. I guess we're going to have to wait and see what tomorrow brings. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. If you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up, share it, it really helps. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and we'll see you right back here in the next video at Lumnah Acres. Bye.